There's so much confusion. Hey, everybody.
Hey, we're
How's everyone
live.
doing?
Welcome to Blood in My Coffee. I am the one drinking the coffee this time.
Wow. Good on you. Good
Proud of
on
myself.
Brendan.
Proud of myself.
I like the
It's an
thing we have
accomplishment.
going. I kind of like it. I kind of like the show is called Blood on My Coffee, but half the time
We
don't
never
even
drink.
fucking drink coffee. Yeah,
Half the
and
time
it's
we're
never in
doing
the
that,
morning.
like, we're doing
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah, love it.
Man.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Yeah, let's just. How you doing, man? Drinking water? Some agua?
Tired.
Okay.
I'm tired as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
you
I
there,
just
man.
I just was hauling ass on a bike, just from Lincoln Park to the west side of the city. I mean, it wasn't too far, probably about like 3 or 4 miles, but like there and back, it's hot as fuck. You got to wear, and the whole time, like, you got to wear these masks, right? Like, because you can't, like, can't like be around the kids and like not be wearing masks. But like, this thing is so fucking thick, man. It's like right up on my face the whole time.
Oh, and you got that wind pushing back on it too.
Well, not. I wasn't riding on the bike, but I'm just tired as shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just tired. How are you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling refreshed, feeling ready for this week's edition, man.
I've been looking forward to it.
Me too, man. Well,
I like the Sundays.
Yeah, man. It's a good little recap of the week. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good little recap. Well,
What'd you do today?
I DoorDash, man.
Okay, you're working
DoorDash like a lot.
from when to when?
9 to about 1:30, and then
Yeah.
I'm about to go back out at about 6. So I got like 44 hours in right now for the week.
Okay.
So just trying to make the cash, man.
I saw you picked up the little one for a little bit.
Oh yeah. We went out to the park for a little bit. It was too hot, man, but we went there for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Dude, he's so cute. He's like,
Yeah,
this is my hat. This is my hat.
Yeah, man. It's awesome, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
It's kind of cool growing up, man.
Yeah, it's cool now, man, but it's starting to freak me out, bro.
Yeah.
He's getting too big on me, man. He's about to be 3. Well, not about to be. He's still got a few months, but March, man.
I'll tell you what. When he around 4 or 5, you have to start throwing them in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely wanting to go the route that I was kind of exposed to, where I get them in some kind of. I think karate is a great. Karate is not something I think that you would want to put them in long term for, because I don't think that's really like a style that's.
I don't really like that.
Used.
I mean, I'm not going to say karate is not a discipline, because anything can almost be a discipline. Yeah. But I mean, there's so many. The thing about martial arts, man, is there's so many like phonies out there, like so many people who don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You got to choose the right one.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate that I did have good senseis. So
yeah.
I would be able to determine that. But yeah, I mean, I don't want the discipline him being, mop up my dojo, sweep up my dojo, stuff like that. Like, that's cool every once in a while, but man, I'm paying you, man. I'm paying you for service, bro.
I think you ought to just start him out with the hands. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. I think that's probably the easiest thing he's gonna probably just be able to pick up is what he's doing right here.
Yeah, maybe just throw him out there, get him a.
Yeah, around 6 or 7 to throw him out there. No, but actually, little kids, probably like 7, 8, 9 years old, be fighting in like amateur fights like that.
That's nuts.
And what you're seeing a lot recently, I mean, in boxing, I think a lot of sports, they try to like get rid of they try to like not have this be the case, but a lot of father-son duos are actually coming up in the sport, and you see like Sean Porter, the guy who fought last night. Sean Porter's top shelf, and that's his dad is his trainer.
And he fought Robbie.
He fought what? Oh, Robbie. Yeah, he fought our boy Robbie last night. I already forgot that dude's name, but
dude, he looked just like him.
Yeah, low key. I was messing with Rob.
Yeah, man.
Who else? Danny Garcia, his dad, Angel Garcia.
Well, I mean, Floyd. That? Can't forget Floyd. You there? buddy?
Something going on with my internet. I think it's my internet.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was saying Floyd.
Oh yeah, and Floyd.
Yeah, I mean he's got 2 big family members, you know. His
yeah,
uncle and yeah. Wasn't
Lomachenko. Lomachenko and his
Canelo's dad wasn't in there?
No.
No, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Ghost. Guerrero.
Oh my!
Oh my gosh!
Why is he the one that comes to mind, man? Why do you think of the Ghost?
Because I couldn't stand his dad, bro. His dad was just.
You guys like this guy? You guys like this guy?
Oh my gosh!
He's a woman beater. He beats women.
He's
he beat his wife.
He's a chicken.
Literally at the press conference, he beat his wife.
Oh my gosh! What happened to him, man? He fell from.
Well, I think he retired, man. He
did he?
I forgot. I watched one of his last fights, and it was just boring as hell. Yeah,
Ghost. I will say that's a pretty cool nickname, though.
Floyd knows how to pick him. Floyd knows how to pick him.
That's for sure, man.
He really pulled the Ghost up out of. Floyd pulled the Ghost up from down here. He's like, I'm gonna get you a big bag. And he's like, he gave the Ghost a big bag,
bro. He's handing them out, man. Just like Ellen, you get one, you get one. Not Ellen. What's that? What's that? Oprah. That's what I would say. Damn.
Everybody gets a bag.
So yeah, I mean, I guess let's hop in, man. Let's discuss this past week's events.
Well, sounds like everybody's talking about that fight. Everybody's talking
Dillan,
about
Whyte, and
yep.
How do you pronounce that guy's last name?
Povetkin. Yeah, some Russian guy.
Yeah, man. So awesome fight, man.
Yeah.
I was lucky to be able to catch that one. I kind of had it going on in between my work and everything, but the fact that, and we already kind of talked about it. Obviously, it wasn't recorded for the podcast, but the fact that he was able to bounce back from those 2 knockdowns and just cut the angle and slip that beautiful uppercut in, man.
Yeah.
Just the torque and the rotation, you know. But it's not even just that. Like, even when he was knocked down, he was still in the fight, you know. And that's huge, man. That's huge because I thought he was going to get done. I thought the next round coming in, I thought Whyte was just going to take care of business.
Clean up the floor.
But, you know, Whyte fought a little too aggressive, got a little too eager, started getting a little relaxed. And with a veteran fighter, when you're fighting a veteran fighter like that, man, a guy that's already gone to war with Klitschko, that's already been dropped by Klitschko, you know?
Yeah,
and then takes him to
knocked the fuck out by AJ. Who else has been there? Let me look up his, because he's been in there, bro.
Well, they both fought AJ, right?
Yeah, they both fought AJ. They both lost to AJ.
Yeah.
Right. But Povetkin has been in there, bro. I was looking at his record.
He's only lost twice.
To AJ
and Klitschko. So I mean, that's a great. If you're gonna lose, man, I mean, two of the best, heavyweights. You know,
right?
I mean, Klitschko's got the longest reign in history. So,
dude, I could name Dillian Whyte, Michael Hunter, Huey Fury, AJ. I don't really like David Price like that, but UK guys like David Price. He's fought Johan Duhaupas. He fought Christian Hammer, which I guess if you want to, he fought Klitschko, obviously. Dude, I mean, there's names on this dude's resume, and that goes to show you when they start building you up over in the UK and they start saying you're world class and you're winning all these UK titles, that's great. But as soon as you step out of that zone, as soon as you leave the UK, as soon as you start messing around with veterans, world class veterans, I mean, I'm pretty sure Povetkin has had a gold medal in the Olympics. Like he's world class. So as soon as you start messing around with guys like that, you're in a different.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's what, after watching that fight, bro, I know how Deontay Wilder would have did that guy. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder would have knocked dude to oblivion. If Alexander Povetkin, who was looking so damn slow, I mean, he looked slow, bro. He looked really slow.
Oh, for sure. They were even talking about the hand speed compared to his last fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
His hand speed was.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he looked. He was showing his age a little bit, but obviously that you can still crack, and then
Yeah.
that's not the older you get, it's more or less the speed that goes. It's not the power.
Right.
You can still crack. You can still knock dudes out, but you're not doing
one
million
second.
fast. Go for it. So yeah, man. While he's taking care of Ollie, I thought the fight was wonderful. I mean, it was kind of what I was expecting, but at the same time, I was thinking Dillan was going to win that fight almost hands down. I just thought that Povetkin was done. Thought he was too old, and after that knockout, I just thought he really was going in there to get a bag and then to call it a day. So, interesting scrap. I mean, by far the best fight of the night, and I wasn't quite expecting that to be the case. So yeah, I mean, hats off to Dillian Whyte. I know a lot of people are going to give him shit. A lot of people are going to be saying bad things about him, and at the end of the day, these fighters really put themselves in a position to they struggle, and they really no, you're good, bro. So I was just saying that people are probably going to be talking shit about Dillian Whyte from here on out, but just being a fighter and putting yourself in that kind of position is incredibly tough. You really
not forget these guys are world-class fighters, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, people,
Yeah, definitely.
One fight doesn't dictate, all the accolades he's got up to the point. So
you're seeing a lot of boxing fans right now are just talking shit on dude because he took it was a pretty heavy L, but I mean, he's only lost twice now. He's just to Povetkin and to AJ, and they're both fighters.
Has he had any kind of response? I know you told me he deactivated his Instagram, but has he had any sort of public response about it?
I don't think so.
That's how you combat that. You get one or two approaches, and we'll talk about it in a second when we talk about O'Malley for UFC. But
yeah,
when you take that kind of loss, especially a losses, I mean, dude, he should have had that fight in the bag. That was a loss that should not have happened. But
he had it right there. He had it.
Heavyweight fighters, man. That's literally what happens at heavyweight. You take one crack like that, you're out. But it's all going to depend on, is he going to be humbled and be complimentary, or is he going to, it was a lucky shot, or regardless if it was a lucky shot or not, it was still impressive. And it was skill. I mean, a lucky shot is...
No, there's no way that shit was lucky, man. I mean, after like getting knocked down like that, and then you saw him, he was in his face, he was like, okay. He was like, okay.
Right.
But he wasn't like shaken up or anything. Like his legs were still there. He
compartmentalized it, man. He stowed it away.
Mm-hmm.
Did not focus on him getting knocked down. He wiped it away from his head and just thought, okay, I'm going in the 5th round. Still a little bit more than half a fight left. I can still get back in this thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hook or just a lucky little rabbit punch that came out of nowhere. It was the clean. He cut the angle, got in the inside, and just popped him, man. Popped him full force.
Really beautiful. It
was.
Yeah.
It was. It was a good slit, man. So yeah, I loved it, and I'm glad I was able to catch it.
Glad you caught that one.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah.
So I know you sent me kind of some of the fights coming up.
Yeah.
For boxing.
It's coming up. I don't know what's coming up, but
I was just the card.
There was some. So I watched. I'll get into this here in a second before we go to UFC, because the other fights weren't super enthralling or anything. But the ESPN card. We gotta talk. We definitely have to talk about that. So I guess we'll just start of the main event, ESPN. Joe Smith Jr. and Eleider Alvarez. Joe Smith is the guy who knocked B-Hop out the ring.
Yeah.
Joe Smith is that guy who knocked B-Hop out the clear. And guess what he did last night? He knocked dude out the ring again.
Oh my God, that's his move, man.
That's his signature.
He's got a future in the WWE if this doesn't work out. I didn't catch that. So you're definitely gonna have to speak to that card.
Yeah.
But I know I saw the recaps kind of from your side, and it looked like it was a pretty good set of events.
Yeah, entertaining
Just
stuff.
knockout, just knockout,
Yeah.
knockout all of
Literally.
yesterday, man.
Yep.
So who won out of the Joe Smith and?
Yeah, so Joe Smith pretty much. I mean, later Alvarez was kind of getting up there in age, and I think
Sure.
after he fought Kovalev, he kind of gave away the game plan, like of how to beat him, you know. And I think Joe Smith saw that he saw something in that fight with Kovalev, and basically, man, I mean, he kind of was just able to put himself in better positions to get out Alvarez on the ropes and to kind of just like literally just fucking pummel away on him, man. He's so heavy handed. Incredibly, and that's what sent B-Hop flying through the fucking ropes was his heavy ass hands.
Sheesh.
They're just so heavy.
And signature, man.
Yeah, and Alvarez didn't have any answers except for maybe one or two. Like he would throw one or two right hands throughout the fight, and it touched him. Like it actually hurt. It hurt Smith. Like you could see his legs like wobbled for a second. Yeah. He was like that. He got, you know, he slowed down for a second. He got caught. Then he was like, all right. Like I'm not about to get caught with that shit again.
Sure.
But then, yeah, man, he closed the show, which I think is always the best option when you know, I mean, when you don't want to leave that shit to the judges, you know, because
for sure,
who knows how that fight would have gone.
Oh yeah, especially nowadays, man.
I think Smith was winning on cards on the cards, but you know, yeah, who knows, man, you know. So knocked them clean out. And yeah, I want to see him again. Hopefully. Maybe at the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year. I would like
a New Year's Eve card or something.
Yeah, maybe like November or something. Maybe November, December. It would be cool. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see what fight he's in. I don't really watch light heavyweight like that, so I'm not sure who is in what position. But I do like Joe Smith. I like what I saw. From him. He looked great. And you know what's cool about him is he used to be like a union worker. Like he used to work like construction or something, and then like the other half of the time he'd be a boxer. So like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that. I like that about him. He's a hard worker. So,
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man. And then the other fight, not the last fight I watched, but the last noteworthy one was the Sean Porter fight versus Formella. I thought Sean Porter looked really, really smart in there. He looked sharp. He looked
technical.
He looked very. It was a technical, one-sided beatdown the whole time, and you didn't have to tune into that to really know that was how that was going to go. But for whatever credit is due, Formella he stood in there, took his beating like a man. You know, he didn't quit. Yeah. He took the beating, got his ass whooped, and then he got out of there after 12 rounds. So
nice.
You know, yeah, you know, I mean, if you think, and I was thinking about it after the fact, like I was kind of bored. I was bored watching it. Let's be honest, I was bored.
Well, when you just got a completely dominant performance like that, it's like
right,
yeah. Get the knockout or speed this along, you know, because
I would not. And to be fair, Sean Porter should have stopped him. He should have stopped him. Yeah. I mean, it was, and I think around the 10th round, his dad, 9th or 10th round, his dad told him like, "Yo, he just wants to go the distance with you," like meaning you should stop him. But it just didn't happen. Formella took his beating. Oh, is he calling you?
1 second.
All right, go
Ollie, come here.
Yeah, so he took his beating, and I got to respect that. You know, you go in there for 36 minutes, 12 rounds. You go in there and you take a beating, and that's kind of discouraging. So you know, I'm sure at certain points in his mind, thought about quitting. Maybe, who knows? I'm sure maybe I would have been like, you know, is there any reason for me to continue taking this punishment? But who knows? Either way, thought Sean Porter looked good. Great, not good. I thought he looked great. Top shelf fighter. I think he continues to keep himself in a position for the WBC mandatory challenger. Either that be Errol Spence or Danny Garcia in the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing Sean Porter fight next year. Probably. I doubt he fights again this year. So yeah. And I guess while Brennan's got, I'll talk about the Joey Spencer fight. I don't know if y'all saw Joey Spencer. But Joey Spencer, who's in there with some, they had found some guy for him on like short notice, and the guy actually was landing some shots. I thought obviously he was outclassed, he was outpowered, he was out boxed, but the guy was a better opponent than the other. Like there's some firemen that Joey fought last time, like so that, and the guy was like 35, 36, almost. I swear he's like he looked damn near 40 years old. So this guy was a better opponent for Joey, and I thought he did a much better job at picking his shots and deciding when he wants to be the boss, because he very much can be the boss in there, and I just think he just needs more experience. So now that we're waiting for Brendan, I need y'all to just smash the like button for me, please. I know I see like 2 or 3 y'all up in here. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. That's so cute. That's adorable, man.
All right, I'm back.
That's so cute, man.
Yeah, man. He wanted a little popsicle, man.
Yeah,
had to give him one. So what were you talking about?
Oh, we just finished up talking about the fights on Saturday, and
okay.
Let's switch over to UFC.
To UFC?
Right. Yeah.
Right on.
What you been?
I got some notes, man.
Let's see those notes.
All right, so Daniel Cormier is slated to fight Stipe Miocic.
Nice.
August 22nd. No, I was no, man, there's some things that happened. We've got the Adesanya and Paulo Costa fight coming up. I sent you the interview footage. Yeah. Costa's getting in his head, man. Costa's really getting into Izzy's head. I think by definition, if we're going off of pure technical skill, I think Adesanya should be able to get that fight.
Really? Because I thought I didn't know if people called him Izzy. I just call him Adesanya.
Or Adesanya.
But, yeah, Adesanya.
Stylebender is his fighting nickname.
Oh, okay. He was fighter of the year last year, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but he's been in some really good fights. He's undefeated for UFC wise, but so is Costa too. The issue is though is Costa's got a lot of muscle and he's got a little bit more weight on Adesanya, so that'll be an interesting fight. I think if they go toe to toe with Adesanya's great kickboxing background, I think he should be able to take that.
Mm-hmm.
But if Paulo Costa starts wrestling him and tries to get him to the ground, that might be where Adesanya starts facing some issue.
You think he's a better wrestler?
Yes, definitely. Okay. So that, I wrote it down. I can't remember what day that is. Oh, September 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. September 26th. So that's 253. Also on that card is Blazkowicz and Dominic Reyes for the vacant light heavyweight title that is now kind of in limbo since Jones officially vacated that division and went up to heavyweight. Still no word on who he's going to fight next. It's probably going to be a while. There's been rumors of him fighting just kind of a heavyweight fighter, or if he waits long enough.
He's going to be some cab driver.
Right. He's going to fight the bottom of the heavyweight division. You know who I really like to see him fight is, and I think it'd be a perfect tune-up fight, is Rosenstruik, the guy that just beat JDS. Dude's a beast, man. And I want to say he's like the 4th ranked heavyweight right now. So,
is that a realistic fight?
I think so. I mean, it's going to be similar to what it would be with him and Nagano, which I know a lot of people are clamoring for.
Yeah, see, that one seems like almost unrealistic to me. Like I think like that. It's not that it can't happen, but it's going to take a lot of public interest and a lot more public interest and a lot more money and a lot more build up for that fight to happen.
Well, he's in a position. Jones is starting to lose leverage though, because he's in a position now where if Nagano beats Stipe, Jones almost has to fight him. I mean, there's no, unless he wants to just settle on a heavyweight fighter, but he's not going to get nearly the significant amount of money he's asking for if it's a non-title fight. You know, Jones, arguably the greatest of all time, 2-division champ, kind of going the Daniel Cormier route, or Jones just taking a foray into heavyweight and running through the ranks. He's just not. He's kind of getting old. You know, he's 33, so technically he's still in his prime. I mean, he's still got a few good years left in him, and especially since he never really put himself in too much position to be in trouble. But he's running out of time. He's not a 25-year-old fighter anymore. You know, so he's got to make something happen. And I think Nagano. You know, it's all if it's Nagano beats Stipe in the next fight. If that's what happens, you know, the first fight went the distance. Stipe won. Nagano's a better fighter now, though, man. He's on a 4-fight winning streak since that loss. So it's gonna be really intriguing to see.
He lost to Lewis. Did he lose to Derek Lewis?
He's lost to Derek Lewis and he's lost to Stipe.
Okay. Oh, he did. He lost to Stipe already.
Yeah, this is a rematch.
But at heavyweight.
Yes. Well, it was a heavyweight the first time too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was Stipe ever at a lower weight? Because he looks like he's a smaller dude.
No, I think he's always fought naturally at heavyweight.
He's always been heavyweight? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
in my mind, I feel like Ngannou like outsizes him. I feel like he looks huge.
Nagano's got tree trunks for legs, man. He's a freaking wall. He's a gigantic dude. And, you know, and what's scary is not only is he a gigantic dude, he can move, man. He's got some speed. So he's
like the Wilder of the UFC.
Yeah, man. He's got some good strikes. He's a big dude. So we got that coming up. I did want to kind of go over a little bit. So DC did put an Instagram post that all but confirms that he's retired. Basically, thank the organization, thank the fans, thank his family. Said it was one hell of a ride. I don't think we really need to spend too much time talking about that because I think you and I both kind of saw that coming. I at least don't ever see DC suiting up again to fight, unless, of course, it would be for the belt. But there's no – I don't see Stipe now winning 2 out of the 3 clamoring for a 4th fight. And I don't think that's ever happened in the UFC, a quadrilogy. There's always been trilogies. And rematches, but I don't think there's ever been a quadrilogy. So unless DC comes out to fight Jones, which I also don't see happening, I don't see that fight happening. I think it's pretty much open and shut. He's done.
I think there's too much like animosity there between Jones and DC. Like DC is in a position where like he can let Jones let Jones, you know, hang out to dry, and DC's like, all right, bet. Like I finished my career. You could go and fight for my scraps.
DC is Hall of Fame, well, and obviously so is Jones. But DC, regardless of him losing, is going out, you know, 2 losses. And what are the 2 losses to? Stipe Miocic, who's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time now, and John Jones, who is arguably the greatest of all time. So. Yeah, I mean, his track record speaks for itself. I mean, the guys he's beaten, Rumble Johnson, Gustafson, you know, I think he beat Ozdemir too. There's so many people that he's beaten that he's cleaned out, man.
It's going to be weird not seeing
you know?
You know,
right, weird. Definitely. But I think he's going to have a good career as a commentator, man. He's a great commentator, so... if they can keep him on the sidelines, that'd be great. He's a smart fighter, man, and seems like he's still got all the pieces together as far as his mental state. So that's good. I'm glad he's retiring with that because you don't see that often, man. You know, you start seeing stuff from like Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell, and like these guys took some punishment. I just saw a video of I can't remember the guy's name, the UFC fighter, but. There's a side-by-side comparison from like 2013 to now, and he's just slurring his words, bro, and he's like 34.
Yeah.
and he just took
That's
so much punishment to the brain, you know, from the fights and everything.
You talking about Chuck?
Huh?
You talking about Chuck?
No, I don't know who this fighter is. There's a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, Chuck the same way. What's his name? We've mentioned him before.
Yeah, we hear James Toney talk, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I mean, you've got, like, Diaz who slurs his words, you know? And, I mean, you know, people just...
And that's why I never thought Diaz was a quote unquote badass motherfucker. Like that's not badass to me. Like, dude, like, you can't hardly speak. Like
he's just a scrapper. Yeah, I mean he's just a slugger, man.
So many beatings. Like I don't like seeing you take beatings. Like that would be badass as if you move your fucking head and then dish it out. But instead now you're slurring your words. That's not badass to me. So anyway, I don't like. I'm not that I don't like Nate Diaz. I'm just making
right. No, I definitely understand, man. Yeah. So yeah, GC's done. Stipe Nagano is yet to be announced as far as date wise. There has been a weekly series I've been watching. This is actually the first week that I didn't catch all the fights, but it's called the Contender Series, Dana White Contender Series. I know you and I have talked about it a couple times. I'll just kind of go over the fights that happened because they're pretty good. So the very first fight was Kenneth Cross versus Kevin Siler, light heavyweight. That one was a unanimous decision. So basically, for those that don't know, 5 fighters a week fight on this series. I think it's 16 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And they're basically fighting for a title shot. Or a contract. Okay. My fault. They're fighting for a contract from Dana White. And the first week, I want to say 3 out of the 4 got it. The second week, all 5. You know, the winners usually are the ones that would get it, you know.
Yeah.
Last week, not this past week, but the one before week 2, all 5 got it. This week, 4 out of the 5 got it. And the one I just talked about was the one that actually didn't get the contract. Cross did not get it. Dana basically said that he was a young fighter. He's only 25. You know, basically see how he looks how he develops. You know, and maybe he'll have a future in the UFC at some point. But right now, he's just too raw, too undeveloped. You know, and too young of a fighter. Doesn't have the fight experience. The next fight was Josh Parisian against Chad Johnson. I actually watched that fight, man, and it was a great fight. Parisian, his first time. A lot of these guys have fought on Contender Series before. This guy had fought, I think, the last season or the season before. Parisian did. And he had fought spinning back fist first round knockout.
Ooh.
Did not get the contract. I don't know why. I didn't watch the Contender Series last year.
He got knocked out with the spinning back fist?
No, Parisian knocked out his opponent.
Oh.
And he didn't get the contract. That I think up until this year they had a chance to go on the Ultimate Fighter, but I don't think they're really doing the Ultimate Fighter anymore. So he beat Johnson by TKO, basically caught him with a good shot. Johnson slipped. Then Parisian hopped on in a crucifix position, basically just ground and pound him and got him.
You need to buzz Woody.
Yeah, Buzz and Woody, yep. So that was the second fight. Parisian did get a contract for that. Hang on. Buddy, I don't have any candy for you. You've had too many sweets.
I love it, man.
Trick or treat. That's a little silly. Come on, just give me a little bit of time, okay?
I love it, man.
And then, so then we had the third fight. So that, like I said, Parisian got the contract on that one off the TKO. Third fight was Orion Kosi against Matt Dixon. That fight was interesting up until the third round.
Just a moment, y'all. Brendan's got to take care of a little something.
Okay.
So, let's wrap up so you can go spend some time.
Well, let me finish this little recap. Only two more fighters. All right, Orion Kosi, TKO and Matt Dixon. Kosi and Dixon were pretty evenly matched. Kosi's brother was actually fighting on the main event on the same card. They're both welterweights, kind of looking like a reborn Diaz brothers.
Oh yeah.
So I can definitely see why Dana White maybe wants to market them out. But Kosi got a TKO in the third round on Dixon. So they only fight 3-round fights. It was like the last 20 seconds. Crucifix, ground and pound again. Pretty decent fight. The only thing about that fight is Kosi needs to work on his round management. Second round, 3 seconds left. He's looking at the clock.
Yeah.
I don't like that. He kind of just seemed like he wanted to get through the rounds. But you do stuff like that, you're going to get caught, man. So that was a lot interesting. Cheyenne buys against Hillary Rose. I might be Rose. That was a unanimous decision by Cheyenne. That was pretty much just a beatdown. Rose wanted to go on the ground. Cheyenne kept standing up. She got a contract. Pretty decent fight. Women's strawweight. And then I actually caught this one too. The main event, Louis Kosi, Orion's brother, against Victor Reina. Welterweight fight, first round TKO. He was 40 seconds in the first round, just clocked him. Got him, hit him. They exchanged a little bit. He hit him. Guy went down and just viciously got on top of him and started ground and pounding.
Yep.
And he got the contract on that one. So,
what's crazy to me is these guys fight without even having a contract. Do they get I'm sure they get paid a little something, but for participating or whatever. But what's crazy, they have no contract. That's
what's crazy is when you go out and win the fight and you're still on the fence about getting a contract. I understand his reasoning. It's just man, you go out there you train 8-10 weeks. For this fight. And some of these guys, man, are in their 30s. It's this is their last chance, and they win and they don't get a contract. So it's pretty crazy. But
so you can win and still not get a contract.
Right.
Wow.
It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. But because he's wanting to see entertaining fighters. You're not going to want to see a guy that's just clinching the whole time. Right. Or using his weight just to get the fight won. You want to have where it's actually because UFC is entertainment.
Right.
So you want to have a entertaining fight, and especially with all these weight classes, with some of these guys being old, man, some old fighters. We need to start cleaning that out. So I think that's what Dana's goal is. He's starting to purge some of these fighters out of the contracts and start replacing them with younger, fresher talent,
Yeah.
Because you got some of these fighters that have still been there since the early days of UFC, man, and UFC has evolved so much differently now than what it used to be. So you're not seeing from these old fighters, you're only seeing basic wrestling, basic grappling, basic striking. But now you got guys like Stylebender, who's throwing these crazy kicks, Anderson Silva-esque, or you've got O'Malley, that has so much power between such a small frame. It's a very interesting time. The one thing I was going to say about O'Malley is he did talk about his injury, basically just said he tripped. I guess his ankle brace supposedly was too loose. He told them to loosen it up before he went out, and that's what caused his supposed injury. I tend to believe that he got his kick checked, and that's what resulted in the injury. Vera got a legitimate win on that one from the ground and pound. So O'Malley then posted a video of him dancing around, trying to recapture the hype.
He said he was fine. He said he was fine after that, right?
He said he hates that he lost to Vera because Vera's not really a good fighter. I didn't like O'Malley's take on that at all. He wasn't humbled. He didn't act like a fighter professionally at all. he just kind of chucked it up as, it was just a lucky night for him, which regardless if that's true or not, regardless if O'Malley's the better fighter, it's still, you got to show respect when you lose, man, especially when you're coming off an undefeated record, especially when Vera came in as such a big underdog. I mean, he came in, I can't remember the odds, but he came in really, really short as far as, the betting favorites. So.
Well, and that's what what the odds are telling you. The odds makers are telling you is that they think O'Malley is the better fighter.
Right.
There's some things you just can't predict. I guess just walk into the fight. You never think you're going to fuck up your ankle.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it was it was a strange turn of events, and we kind of already talked about it after it happened, but. We'll see what happens with him now, man. If it really wasn't a big injury, then he should be able to fight again this year.
Yeah,
capture that hype, Last thing is we had Frankie Edgar and Pedro Munoz fight last night.
I heard they're both getting bonuses.
Maybe it was a decent fight. It was pretty evenly matched. Mm-hmm. Edgar came out on top though with the decision. His very first fight at bantamweight, his first win since 2018. Edgar's one of those fighters I was just talking about that's been in it for a long time, man. So maybe he finds success at bantamweight. He was coming from light heavyweight, so that's quite the big cut for bantamweight. For sure. So, we'll look to see what he does for that division. Hopefully he has a better success rate than Aldo did at trying to make that bantamweight,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had for UFC this week.
We're at 42 minutes, dude. How
yeah, man. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. It was a good round of fights, next Sunday we'll have some more content for you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Everybody who's been tuning in and not liking the fucking live stream or not subscribing, y'all are doing us real dirty. Like the fucking stream, and to all my homies that are tuning in and not like, because people just be fucking forgetting. Hey, like the fucking stream. Like the stream.
Yeah, we do try to do this right for you guys, man. We do a lot of research, and it's a lot. It's time consuming, man. But we like doing it, and we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and look forward to it every Sunday.
All right, pal.
I think that's it, man. Let me flip
spend
the old.
Spend some time with the little one.
There he is.
Look at him having fun.
Yeah, man. He's got so many toys, man.
Dude, he got so many toys.
He's throwing Woody right in the microwave. Okay. All right.
Hold on. Let me see Woody in the microwave. Hold on.
He took him out. Hi, bud. All right, man. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Alex, I'll catch you later.
Y'all
See you next Sunday.
Y'all have a good one. All right.